Some of the best players in the world and some of the best coaches in the world get this wrong. Any good golf swing has an amount of shift of pressure between the feet. So in the backswing, most of the time, at least at address, 50-50 is the starting pressure distribution between feet. During the backswing phase, there's a shift or a movement of that point of pressure between the feet towards the trail side. In conjunction with that, oftentimes there's a shift of mass. The center of mass is right around my belly section here. So both of those will move to the trail side during the backswing. In advance of getting to the top, there's a reversal of pressure and mass shift towards the lead side. When done correctly, it exposes a couple of things. So there's the dynamic shift in the bottom of the arc that solves for any chance that the arc might hit too early. So if you can think of this swing arc sitting around my body, statically at address, 50-50, ball position right in the middle or just slightly forward of middle, there's a dynamic shift of the arc as I've shifted pressure and mass to the trail side, and then there's a dynamic shift of this arc towards the lead side. That ensures, again, just to reiterate, that the club's going to strike the ball before it gets to the ground, some amount, therefore solid contact. But in addition to this dynamic shift, and we'll get to the wrong piece here in just a second, but in addition to this dynamic shift that then moves the bottom of the arc, there's also the piece that says when I've shifted mass and pressure to my trail side, and then I've done the same to the lead side, I'm exploiting this ground reaction force concept that is a movement along the frontal plane. What's the frontal plane? Imagine a plane of glass that's separating the front side of my body from the back side of my body. Well, I'm essentially moving towards the target parallel to that plane, similar to how a pitcher might also launch themselves down mound to propel their body, amongst other things, to propel that ball faster over the plate towards the catcher. Now, here's what people get wrong. In learning this, they employ what's called a step drill. And that step drill done incorrectly actually has the negative effect. Let me demonstrate. So, serendipitously, I've got this shadow that's sitting right over my golf ball here. So the step drill most of the time is done in this fashion, where we stand normal, we bring our feet together, we make a backswing, and then we step to the left. And far too often I see, as a person stepping to the left, they just move their foot. And the movement of the foot, number one, doesn't move pressure. I can move my foot and still have 100% of my pressure over my trail side. And I haven't moved mass at all as well. And so the outcome then becomes this. Here comes a step drill done bad. Okay, I touched the ground slightly early. I launched it super high. Therefore, it's not going to go very far. And I launched it hard left. I had to try my hardest to not strike it uber fat that time. And if you watch that one on replay, you would have seen my rib cage, the center, or my center of mass, middle of my belly right here, stay back for a long period of time. That's a recipe for disaster. So how do we then correct your application of this step drill to exploit those two benefits? Those two benefits being moving the bottom of the arc to the left, and also the benefit of more swing speed, more force into the golf ball by moving your mass. What we do is we employ the same concept of shifting mass to shift pressure rather than shifting feet to shift mass and pressure. Stay with me, stay with me. If I was about to take a step in this direction, what I would do is I wouldn't move my foot first, I would move my body first. When you're walking or running, what you're exploiting there is a controlled fall. You're tipping your mass in a direction that then enables the movement forward. And then the foot is only necessary so you don't fall flat on your face. Similar to a pitcher, I'll go back to the pitcher on the mound analogy. When they rear back, oftentimes you'll see the legs stay back as the body, in fact not oftentimes, at an elite level, pro, collegiate, or even in the junior leagues, you'll see the mass move down mound and then the foot follows. That propels their body forward, and then the reaction that they feel through their foot is only necessary, again, why? So they don't fall flat on their face. So the step drill done correctly actually would involve the following. So we're going to stand to it normal again. We're going to shift as I indicated before or demonstrated before. Then when we get to the middle of the backswing, can you see what I just did? I started to tip my rib cage and therefore my center of mass to my lead side. Then I took my step. So I've shifted a lot of mass. I've shifted a lot of pressure from trail to lead. That ball comes out really low. You can see where the divot occurred well after ball contact. I've ensured solid contact. I've ensured a high level of ball speed. Why? Because I'm delivering a lower dynamic loft with more club head speed, and therefore I'm learning to move along the frontal plane correctly through the correct application of this step drill. So don't fall victim to the step drill mistake, which is hanging back for a long period of time thinking you're doing it correctly. If you can, position yourself where you see your shadow directly in front of you. Step, lean, or fall to the left. Let the fall to the left encourage you to need to take a step, and then swing on through. You're going to start to flush your iron shots when you do this correctly. Give it a try.